Hey, gang. Welcome to another Friday edition of the ever ending quest for songwriting perfection. Glad to have you aboard. As usual, per usual, I'm having technical difficulties. So, what's new, right? So, my chat didn't log in, so I have to remember what the password is again because it's not remembering it. Let me see if it remembered it. Oh, wait. Oh, it remembered it. Oh, so we have it logged in. We have it automatically in there. That's good. That was nice. That was a sweet little bit of joy right there. So we'll put that there, and we'll put this here, and we're just lining things up here. Then we're going to open up our Spotify. Open up Spotify, and we're going to see. We're switching gears today. We've been talking about, we're always on this show, on this stream, we're talking about how to make a better song. This is a songwriting thing, and sort of a lecture or a get-together, we might want to call it, a songwriting get-together, exchanging ideas on what would make a better song. We focus a lot on lyrics, although we do talk about the music and the line rhythm and the rhyme scheme. So, rhyme scheme is part of lyrics. And in recent streams, we've been talking about, our thing has been what makes a good story. In the world of lyric, what makes a good story, and we've spent quite a few lessons talking about one of the things we can use to make a good story. One of the techniques is having a live conversation or a thinking conversation. And if you don't understand what those two things mean, go back to previous live streams that you can find on CreatiVets.org, or you can find them on YouTube. So we can do that, and there they will be. It'll explain what we mean by live conversation and thinking conversation. There's only two ways you can two viewpoints you can have. Voices, that's what I call it, voices. Two voices you can have. You can have either a live voice where you're talking actually live to someone or to the audience, in which case it needs to sound spontaneous. You know what I'm saying? So you can't use a lot of figurative language, basically. And it needs to sound very much in a simple syntax. Or you can think either to somebody, or you can think to the collective consciousness, to people in general. Or you can also think to an individual. Well, I say you think to an individual, or you can think to the listener, to the universe. When you're thinking to someone in the song. Like the song "I Can't Tell You Why" by the Eagles, that song, you're thinking to someone, and the audience is listening in on your thought process. Again, because you're thinking, you can compose it just a little bit. You can pause. You can think, "Gee, do I want to say this? Do I want to say that?" Because it's not live conversation. You see the difference? You can compose it a little bit, but usually when you're thinking to somebody, it's not you don't use as much figurative language. And again, it varies because the song Let Me Be Your Sledgehammer is just full of deep and massive amounts of figurative language. So, but in general, we don't usually use a lot of figurative language when we're thinking to someone in the song, a character in the song. When you're thinking, to the world, to the general public, you can go absolutely just as wild as you want to get, But at any rate, I digress a little bit. Let me see if there's anybody on here. Okay, so today's song, we're going to switch gears from building a good story on a conversation, based on a conversation. We're going to do today, we're switching gears, and we're going to spend some time talking about the big picture. Songs based on a concept, based on a social commentary, based on the big picture, right? And they're fun to write because you're kind of on your soapbox, and you're kind of, it's preaching kind of, right? Because let's face it, I think we are all going to admit, let's just admit to ourselves and say it out loud, all songwriters are churches of themselves, right? I'm a church of me, right? Hey, Nina. Welcome aboard, gal. Good to have you here. Now, Nina's the church of Nina, right? I'm the church of Ricky B, right? Which is how I sign my co-writes. When I co-write, I said Ricky B, Because Rick Beresford sounds like a lawyer. And who wants... Lawyers don't write music, do they? Yeah. So it's Ricky B. Ricky B. Hey. At any rate, I got totally distracted. Yeah, so we're going to be spending the next little while talking about the big picture. Songs. Preaching. That's right. We're like little churches of ourselves, right? In other words, to put it in another way, when I write songs, I want to save the world with my little song, right? I want to save the world. That's just what I want to do. So that's kind of like I'm a little preacher in my little church saying, hey, come to my church, listen to my song, listen to my sermon, right, which is a song. And when you listen to this song, you will be healed of all your negative thoughts, and you will love all of mankind. You will surrender all your weapons, and we will all live in harmony and peace, and we will all be wealthy and healthy and wise. Yeah, not really. Okay. But you see my point? You see my point? We're all churches of ourselves. So when we get on our little soapbox and we want to write a social commentary, we want to write about the big picture, we want to write about a concept, this is wonderful because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something for society. You're contributing to the healing process of the world. But there is a caveat. There is a warning with this. And the warning is when you start judging your fellow brothers and sisters, you have to be careful not to point the finger too much. Especially pointing, this is important, especially pointing down. Like, I'm so smart and you are so misinformed, and I'm going to have to tell you what's going on because you don't know. See? Now, right away, and I know Nina's feeling this, Nina is saying, Hey man, back off. Okay? Just back off. I know my stuff. I read the papers, you know. At any rate, so you see, people can get defensive when you start throwing judgments around, right? So we want to look at, for the next while, we're going to look at songs that deal with the big picture, right? But I'm going to write this down, but we have to be careful. Big picture equals judgment equals like a defensive, right? So we want to look at this, you know, like little church of ourselves. You know, here we are, our own little church. My little church. I'm just making these notes because we're going to be doing this for a while, so I want to introduce every session with the idea that we're going to do these things, and we want to delve into how do certain writers, hit writers, of course, how do they deal with this church of me? Come to my church, listen to me preaching to you, and are you going to believe this? Am I believable? Am I lovable? Do you want to hear what I've got to say? Or am I going to turn you off, right? Are you going to go, man, hey, chill down. You know, we don't want that. We want people, because no one likes the finger pointed at them, do they? No one goes, you don't know this, I'm going to tell you this, blah. Well, that's fine for a real preacher to do, because that's what they study, the Bible, or they study the Quran, or they study whatever they're studying. And that's, you know, we allow preachers to tell us straight out what we need to do to be a better person. But songwriters, on the other hand, you know, can they get away with that? You know, is there, you know, so there is, I think there is a star factor, you know. So in other words, let's put it this way. Bob Dylan, he's kind of earned his priesthood, right? I mean, Don Henley of the Eagles, maybe they've kind of earned their priesthood from writing so many songs and showing us over the years and over the decades how smart they are. You know, they're pretty smart. They're pretty observant, and their observations are pretty cool, right? They're pretty right on the money. So there may be a star factor involved in this, right? So we'll consider the star factor in the little churches of we're going to do the Church of Fleetwood Mac today. The song we're going to do today is today's song. We'll put this in here. Today song is I think it's just called Don't Stop. Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac. So let's put that up there. Today's song. So if you would kindly get on your pony and ride to the internet and just type in Don't Stop Fleetwood Mac lyrics. And again, the internet lately, this has only been in the last couple of years this has been happening, but right away, boom, you get a lyric right on the front page. It's already printed out for you. It's already there. Make sure you click on the little very, very light arrow that's shaped kind of like this, and it'll open up the whole lyric. Otherwise, you'll just see part of it. So go ahead and go online on your computers, because I know everybody's on a computer. That's what you're doing, right? You're listening to me. I know you may not be able to look at this gorgeous face when you're looking at the lyric, okay. But, more important to look at the lyric than to look at moi. All right, so let's get on with this thing. Here we are, 20 after 11 already, and I've just been yapping my brains out. Okay, let's go to Don't Stop. Let's listen to the whole song first, and then we'll tear it down, section by section. Try to talk about music, rhythm, rhyme, topics, blah, 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 etc. Okay? So here is a song looking at a big picture song, kind of a, like Let's Heal the World kind of social commentary song, which, by the way, we can use when we're writing as veterans. We have an experience, right? We have an experience from being overseas in a war zone. We have drawn conclusions from that experience. So from that experience, we can come back home, and I don't know, maybe some people are watching this actually in the field, right? They may be actually watching this from Afghanistan or from wherever they're stationed overseas. But you're drawing some pretty serious conclusions from being in the military, from being with your brothers and sisters, defending each other, protecting each other, and at the same time, helping the free world be free, right? And hopefully doing a little something to change life on the planet for the better, right? I mean, that kind of is our goal here, right? With the big picture. So you're drawing some conclusions. So let's listen to this song and see how we can apply that to our experience, okay? Let's just see. I see some people are making comments. Do your song 70 years. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Now, how do you know that song, 70 years? Where are you getting all this stuff? Nina, what are you doing? You're surprising me with that song. What are you doing? What are you doing, girl? How do you know that? You know too much. There's something going on there. 70 years. That song goes way, way back. Oh, it's a good song, though. It's a good song. I don't even know how you know that song. Jeez. And somebody, who was it? There was a Robert was telling me about songs. Breakaway, which is a song that I hadn't performed in, good Lord, man, in 40 years. I haven't, 30 years. Anyway. Oh, YouTube. Oh. Somebody's putting my songs on YouTube. Okay, all right. So somebody's putting my songs on YouTube. I wonder who's doing that. Okay, it's not me. I'm not doing it. I don't know who's doing it. Somebody's doing it. It's pretty funny. Okay. I'll have to go check that out. Check out YouTube, huh? Ricky B's on YouTube. All right. Well, here you are. Anyway, let's listen to this song, Don't Stop, and let's have some fun with it. Let's just see where it takes us, all right?
Open your eyes, look at the day. You'll see.
Man, oh man, what a song. Woo! What a song. I mean, damn. It don't get better than that, does it? No. The Fleetwood Macs, they do not play. They do not play. They get down and funky and serious, and at the same time entertain the hecky darn out of us, don't they? I mean, what an entertaining song. What an entertaining song. I mean, that song, we talk about the arc of a story, if you're writing a novel, but in songwriting, I talk about the arc of interest, because in a novel, you've just got words, but in a song, we've got words, melody, chords, different textures. We've got line rhythm, rhyme scheme. We've got so many other things that we're thinking about besides just a plot. So I call it the arc of interest, which we want always to be rising, rising, rising until the end, and then we can turn it just a little bit at the end to have a little what do you call it? Not deflation, but just a little relief, just a little bit of a relief valve, kind of to take us down and out, But we want the arc of interest to keep rising throughout the song, and I mean, this song gets my attention, from the very, very, very get-go, right? Right? Yeah. So, let's first of all, let's talk about the overarching theme. It says, "Don't stop thinking about tomorrow." That's the big theme. So, and what they mean by that, let's expand that theme out a little bit. What they're saying is, and I think they actually end up saying it straight out to you. I mean, they're gonna put on the preacher hat and robe, and they're just gonna the Fleetwood Macs are gonna tell us straight out, with no beating around the bush, about what they're thinking. So it's more than just don't stop thinking about tomorrow. It's also don't worry about the past. If you've had trouble in the past, don't worry about that. Let's look forward to a better life, right? By literally just changing our attitude. So if we have a negative attitude, this song is saying, get out, shake yourself off, get out of that negative attitude, because tomorrow is a new day. And so this song is a reminder, isn't it? A reminder of tomorrow's a new day. So as a theme, can we use that with veterans writing songs? What do you think? Yeah, I think we could do that. I mean, when you have bullets whizzing by your head, for, a couple of years, and you made it out alive, well, that's, that's a memory that's, pretty rough, right? Pretty rough. So you could say, take yesterday as a lesson rather than a downer. Let's make it a lesson. I've heard this said before, and I say this all the time. You're either, there's winners and losers, Well, I like to change that around to say, you're either winning or you're learning, right? So winning and learning. Because when you're losing, you're actually doing a lot more than losing. You're actually learning something. It's more difficult to learn something when you're winning, because you're just all so excited about winning. Oh, wow, everything's going my way. You're not in the process of learning. You're in the process of of just absorbing the light, right, of winning. But when you lose, you go, oh, wow, wait a minute. You stop and you pause and you think about what just happened. How can I make that better, right? Am I right? And of course, it's not that, I mean, there are some winners that go, wow, I'm winning. How am I doing this? Let's continue doing this. So, of course, you're thinking besides, but you know what I mean. I know what everybody out there knows what I mean. When things don't go right, it really makes you think about how can I change this, because you're in a position of uncomfortableness, right? And so from a position of discomfort, some of the greatest minds that ever lived say that is the place where you start to ascend into a higher place, is from the muck and the mud of loss, of sadness, of not knowing where you are, disoriented. There's disorientation. It's a great place to get a hold of yourself and pull yourself out, to analyze and go, okay, this happened, but here I am. I have a memory. Here I am. I made it. And I know some of the vets out there, maybe don't have all their limbs still. They may have lost an arm or a leg or whatever in the conflict, and so they've got more of a challenge to the future of their life. But still, you can take a lemon and make lemonade out of it simply by changing your attitude, right? So this is a song about attitude and changing your attitude. And I know that, one of the reasons why I'm here is to help you vets change from your combative brain into a creative brain, and to have that cathartic feeling, right? To have that cathartic feeling. So, well, let's get on with it. I think, I've talked enough about that. So we have an overarching theme, right? The theme was when they sat down, when Christine McVie wrote this by herself, so when she sat down to write this, she said, obviously she had this theme in mind. She says, people like that are in the high citadel of fame, they may have, just they're human beings too, and they've had some really bad experiences in their past. And I don't know Christine McVie's history, but she may have had some really rough times, before she got into Fleetwood Mac. And even in Fleetwood Mac, she might have, there was rumors about a lot of drug use and, a lot of crazy relationships going around, and a lot of, negative energy because of all that. So, so she just took that and turned it. She says, we can be in a higher place. We don't have to be in the muck and the mud of this. Because I can, in this muck and mud, I can feel more compassion for humanity, right? Isn't that right? More compassion for humanity coming through. When you're feeling down and funky, you can look at someone else, like a homeless person, and you can go, oh man, I relate to them. So I'm in that church of sadness, in that church of depression. I know what it's like. So it really brings you into the fold of humanity when you're at the lowest point. Think of all the people living today that are at that muckety, mess of a life. Bangladesh, there's places, in Africa and in the Middle East and in China, there's a whole society that's being, the Chinese are trying to, get rid of them. It's pretty serious in some places of the world. So here we are, she's converting this mud into a positive changing of an attitude. So let's see how she figured that out. So she had an idea. Let's see how she approaches it. Well, let's see how the Fleetwood Macs, how they did it, because they did it together. They, once she brought the song in, Lindsey Buckingham and Mick Fleetwood, they and John McVie and the gang, they got together and decided how they're going to arrange this thing. So let's look at the very top of the song. Okay, we haven't even started yet, right? Haven't even started the song, no lyric. What is going on there? Well, there's several things. First of all, they chose a shuffle, which I thought was an interesting choice. Shuffles have a sense of motion to them, doesn't they? Has more motion than my faithful Gibbo. Get it in there. See, Gibbo. My wonderful cutaway J45. I love my J45 cutaway. It's hard to see it because, but here it is, and so. You know what I mean? It has a traveling kind of vibe. So right away, choosing a shuffle beat, to me, is already got a lot of energy. It's got a lot of traveling. It's got a lot of motion involved in it, doesn't it? And then it goes. It stays on the one. It's in the key of E. Don't disregard the capo. My guitar's tuned in low D, so when I take this capo off and I play E chord, I'm actually playing a D chord. So I have all those killer low notes on my guitar, which I really like. So this is actually an open for most of you people. So, but notice what they're doing is they're going. That's they call that, I think they call it pedaling, right? The bass player is staying on the one, while the chord is changing to the 4. So it's going from E to A. So we have the chords changing, but the bottom note isn't. So that gives it a sense of what? Tension. Very cool. So we got a shuffle movement. We got the. Sorry, can't hear it. And then we have the build of the drums. Boom, right? So then we have the full drums coming. And then just to add a little, Lindsey Buckingham, one of the greatest guitar players that rock and roll has ever known, right? Ever known. Amazing guy. He comes in at the very last minute with a cool lick, and then the lyric starts. Let's see if we can hear that cool lick. Oh, nice. Yeah, I just love that. I think what a great opening line. If you wake up and don't want to smile, right? It starts on the high note. If you wake up and don't... Oh, this is out of my key. If you wake up and don't want to smile. Da, 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 da. It's an up and down melody, isn't it? Which again has that sense of da, 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 like a wave of an ocean. It's got that sense of that movement. And you know, I always think when you sing up da 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 da, that's happy. And when you sing down da 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 da, that's kind of, it's a little more pensive, a little more private, a little sadder, you know. So he's going up and down and up and down. So he's manipulating those emotions up and down and up and down, you know. But starting on that nice high note. If you wake up and don't want to smile, if it takes just a little while. Now, wow, okay, there's so much going on there in the opening two lines, right? If you wake up and don't want to smile. So we've got images, right? Great images in this simple writing. If you wake up and don't want to smile is pretty, I mean, that's first grade language, right? I mean, there's nothing complicated about that at all. But what images? If you wake up, so you have a picture of somebody getting up in the morning, so you see the sun coming up and it's wake up. If you wake up and don't want to smile, so you really get a strong emotion and you get a strong image at the same time. So you got great image and emotions going on. And notice the rhythm. If da 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 da. Now remember we talk about setting up expectations and either delivering what they want to hear, what they expect, or giving them a little bit of a surprise, right? So let's see what Lindsay does. If you wake up and don't want to smile, the expectation would be, it's going to take just a little while. If you wake up and don't want to smile, going to take just a little while, right? But instead, she shortened the line. If you wake up and don't want to smile, if it takes just a little while. Ooh, a da-da-da. A da-da-da. That's a quad compound line ending. I like to call them compound endings when you hear like certain amount of notes in rapid succession, like da-da-da, or da-da-da-da, or da-da-da-da-da-da. You can have two da-da, you can have three da-da-da, you can have four da-da-da-da. Those compound endings. And what happens with compound endings is, especially in the rap and hip-hop world, they want to rhyme all three or four or however many are in the compound. So if I said, don't want to smile, don't want to smile, I would try to rhyme as many of those like go, don't want, go on, don't want, go on every mile, go on every mile. Don't want to smile, go on a mile. Go on a file, go on a file. See what I'm saying? These are compound endings creating the possibility for compound rhymes, right? So you get these, and hip-hop people have literally, I used to teach at Belmont, and when I would have a hip-hop writer come to our class, inevitably they would have notebooks full of compound rhymes. That's what they would be doing, is doing compound rhymes, right? Practicing compound rhymes. Like I said, don't want to smile, or a little while, right? Da, 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 just a little while. So what rhymes with a little? Pickle file, a little while, a tickle smile, a little while, with a smile, little while with a smile. See what I'm doing? Those are compound rhymes where you're taking a group. Hold on, somebody's trying to call me. Make sure it's not anything important. No. Okay, good. All right, good. Everything's all right. Good. All right. It's all good. Good. Yeah, so so compound endings, And that compound ending, little while, was a way of shortening that line. Now we've talked about this when asymmetrical couplets like da 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 smile, da 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 da. What do you want to hear? You want to hear a rhyme, while, right? But that's a symmetrical couplet. They both have the same exact amount of stresses. And not only that, but the last stress is exactly the same. So that stress, we had a stress landing on the last syllable. Da 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 smile. The stress is on the smile. Da 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 while. Okay? Now, you could have a feminine ending where you go da 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 smiling. Oh, you notice the ing hanging out there? That's an unstressed, single syllable, unstressed. That's a feminine ending. Feminine endings desperately want to resolve to a masculine ending on the next line. Right? So da 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 smiling, da 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 while. Right? That's you go, whew, relief. We got rid of that dangling thing on the next line. Right? Yeah. And there's another thing that happens because that's now an asymmetrical couplet. Yeah, right. Just because of the addition of that one unstressed syllable on the front line, on the first line, smiling, we now, if we ended the next line with while, then that would be an asymmetrical couplet just because of that little thing hanging out there, right? And asymmetrical couplets actually don't want to rhyme. So da 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 smiling, da 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 with, and then or go or whatever. Doesn't have to rhyme. Now they're expecting another. The ear is expecting another asymmetrical couplet just like that first one to finish the rhyme, right? So we go da 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 smiling, da 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 da. That's where I'll go. Da 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 zing zang, da 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 the wind blows. So go and blow. That's what the ear wants to hear, right? Notice in this song he does an asymmetrical couplet. Now we didn't want to hear it rhyme, but it did. So you don't know that he's doing this, but he's creating a little bit of extra interest. And it's the tiniest bit of tension. It's really not so much tension as it is, huh? You know, so it's more attention than tension, right? So if da 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 smile, da 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 wow. See how that you wanted to hear da da go, da da anything but while. You didn't want to hear that rhyme. But he did. He rhymed it. Asymmetrical couplet that rhymed. And so you get that kind of surprise. It's shorter than you expected. And it rhymes. So to me, it's just a beautiful little ping. It's a real ping of interest, right? Boom. So my point being is that he, in the first two lines of the song, I'm doing he because he is singing, but she wrote it. We have to give Christine full credit for all this. She decided, let's shorten that second line. Again, that great intuitive, advanced intuitiveness that great songwriters have. I call that your PI levels, professional intuition. And we'll talk about, in some future lesson, we'll talk about how to increase your PI levels. And we actually got started on that, I think last on Tuesday, but we'll finish that up at another time. At any rate, she has a very high professional intuition, right? Her intuition is very, very high. So she says, I'm just going to shorten that line and I'm going to rhyme it. So boom, we've got this incredible. Let's see what it says. If it takes just a little while. Isn't that interesting? So we have double image. We have waking up, we have a frown, right? Waking up with a frown. You don't want to smile. And then she lightens it up so much by saying, if it takes just a little while. So she goes, we're going to get serious, and then we're going to kind of lighten it up a little bit. And that's so interesting. This, I call that great prosody, right? Because if you listen to the song, you know, the wonderful record, you know, if you wake up, don't want to smile. You know, it's really happy, isn't it? If you wake up, don't want to smile. If it takes just a little while. You know, it's nice, you know. That's E, D like dog, and A. Oh, and doing that, I should have showed you that, doing that, the one and then the 4/1. I just moved this finger here. I just barred all those. Barred them. Okay. E, and then just move this. If you can do it, if you can bar it and keep that going, but I don't care about that note. There's another position up here. Okay, this is another voicing of that same thing. So I'm playing the C position up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you get an octave. And then I'm leaving the last notes are open. Can you see that? And then now the E position, I'm just playing this. So you hear oh, sorry. That's keeping that. I just slid that whole thing down, that C position. And there's that E position. It's just still leaving these open. Interesting, huh? Yeah, interesting. Little guitar thingamabob for you, you know, little thingamabob. Little extra treat thrown in there today. Boom. All right. So, you know, we haven't even got past the opening 2 lines yet, and already this song is just rocking my world, right? So that arc of interest is just zooming like a rocket up into my interest zone, right? It's totally locked me in with a it's starting with a high note. If it takes just a little while, if you wake up and don't want to smile, if it takes just a little while. Very cool. And then listen to this next line. Listen to how the line rhythm goes.
Open your eyes, look at the day. You'll see things in a different way.
Open your eyes and look at the day. Isn't that beautiful? Da 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 da. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open your eyes. Go for the prize. See, that would be a rhyme. That would be a compound rhyme. Go for the prize. Open your eyes. I'm rhyming with the O and the I at the end. Go for the prize. Open your eyes. Toe in disguise. Mic drop. I mean, who can't use toe in disguise? I mean, you know, I get 10%. Okay, just don't ever know. So open your eyes and look at the day. You'll see things in a different way. So there's a very light, I love the subtlety of this. So she's pointing the finger and preaching at you, but she's doing it in a very gentle way. That's why I say, if it takes a little while, is a very sort of very soft and almost subtle, humorous little line, isn't it? And it's an emotional line. So we start with images. Second line is an emotional line that's light. You know, if it takes a little while, if it takes a little while. Open your eyes, look at the day. Another 2 images, opening eyes, looking at the day, right? And you'll see things, connecting this, seeing, open their eyes. Notice how she connects eyes and seeing, very good. You'll see things in a different way. She didn't say you'll see life, you'll see the world. She didn't get that heavy. She wanted, again, keep the preaching light. So less is more. Maybe that's what our lesson here from this first verse is. When you're preaching at someone and you're trying to tell them the truth, you're trying to actually say, do this. If you're doing this, try this, right? So again, pointing the finger at everyone. So she wants to do it as lightly as possible and as gently. So rather than going like this, she does maybe a Bill Clinton like this. You know how Bill does. This is how I think he was the first guy that invented not this, but this. I thought that was very clever. A very clever little move on his part. Yes, because we have to remember the little things mean a lot. And when you've got a dynasty like the Clintons, you can't point the finger too heavily. People might not like it, not for sure. That's my Clinton invitation. Okay. So, you'll see things in a different way. And so open your eyes. So let's just start the line rhythm. Da 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 da, da 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 da. So lots of ba da da da. Notice now, contrast that. Da da da, da 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 da, on that third line, and then da da da. Notice how different those two things are. Don't you just love that? The contrast of those 2 lines. Again, interest going up. What do we have to work with? What are our 3 big tools? We have original detail, we have contrast, and we have repetition, right? Detail, contrast, and repetition. Along with our I like to call it our spark, our lightning, like our creative genius in that moment is the biggest tool. It's that intuitive, magical thing that happens to us when we sit down to write, that cannot be described and cannot be talked about because it just is this wonderful thing. And of course, yes, you can encourage it. I don't go with this idea that, I only write when I feel like writing. Let me clue you guys, you vets in. Professional writers write every day. Whether they feel like it or not, they write every day. Because what have they learned? They've learned that if you tease and coerce the mystery, the magic, the mysterious magic, call it M&M, mysterious and magic, right? If you coerce it and coddle it and prod it a little, it can come out even when you thought it wouldn't. It can, and it often actually does. It actually does. Because professional writers, they write every day, whether they're in the mood to or not. But inevitably, because of their great amount of talent, they just get into it, right? So they're reluctant, they don't feel good, they had a bad night last night, they had a little bit too much to drink, they're hungover, or whatever. They just know, if I just sit down and say to myself, okay, today, right now, I don't feel like I want to write, but I'm just going to write one line, or let's say 2 lines. I'm just going to write 2 lines. Maybe they'll rhyme, maybe they won't. And then I'm just not going to do any more today. I'm just going to write 2 lines. It never works out like that. We always end up going, oh, 2 lines, those are interesting. I wonder what that comes after that, you know? And off they go, right? Off they go. So, yeah. Anyway, so there we are. What an amazing verse to open a song with. What an amazing verse. You know, and notice how light things in. You know, it doesn't say, open your eyes, look at the day, you'll see things in a different way. You know, it doesn't say what that way is, right? It doesn't say what it is. She just says, you're going to figure it out. You know what I'm talking about. It's not that you're going to see demons in darkness. You'll see things in a better way, right? So she didn't say better. Again, interesting, isn't it? That not better, you'll see things in a different way. I thought that was so great, that it was so subtle, right? So subtle. All right, so let's move on to the chorus, right? Let's see how the chorus goes. So we left it with, you'll see, well, let me just back it up a little bit.
Things in a different way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. You'll see anything than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone.
Wow. Okay. So there's a hint there with the last line, yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. The hint is, if you woke up and you didn't want to smile, you can, if you just keep thinking positive energy about things to come. I've studied some Buddhist writings, and the Buddhists, they don't believe in the word hope. They throw the word hope out the window. They say hope is coming from a negative place. They say replace hope with anticipation, which I think is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So I would like to think that what she's saying is anticipate the wonderful things that are going to happen to you starting very soon, maybe starting now, but definitely tomorrow. So notice the line rhythm first of all. Ba, ba, da 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 da. Ba, ba, da 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 da. Now that's it. That's an asymmetrical couplet, and it didn't rhyme. So she decided on this chorus, she's going to give you a predictable. That was an expectation set up, and it was just as I predicted. So she gave us what we expected to hear. Right? Now let's move on. So the sta, ba, we haven't heard that yet. Contrast from the verse, isn't it? Ba, ba, da 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 da. That line rhythm has not shown up in the song at all before. So that's really nice. Really nice. A fresh, and did she use the same chords? Let's see. Yeah, she's using the same chords. So we have the massive amounts of repetition in the chord pattern, right? And notice the chord pattern's happening at the same time too. 1, flat 7, 4. So it's the E to the D to the A, E, D like dog, A. So that hasn't changed. So I find that also interesting, that there's massive amounts of repetition going along with all this vocal contrast, right? And also, did you notice that the texture of the instrumentation changed when they hit the chorus? I believe there's some really nice, interesting new guitar parts and stuff. Let's visit that. Let's see what's happening there.
You'll see things in a different way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. You'll see anything than before. Yesterday's gone.
Oh, there's a change.
Yesterday's gone.
Okay, so actually, they didn't change it up that much. And that's an interesting observation. So what they're doing is they're factoring in the groove, right? They're saying, the band decided, look, the Fleetwood Macs, all the Macs, they said, we've kind of got this thing going. It's kind of cool. What if we don't change it all? We just keep it going. And that'll just keep that hypnotic trance, right? Because the groove factor, to me, works. The groove factor works when you've got somebody in a trance and you don't want to break the spell, right? So that they've already got this powerful thing going. Da 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 and da 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 da. Don't stop. So there was enough contrast in that da stop da da da. They kept the train a rolling, didn't they? Keep the train a rolling all night long. Keep the train a rolling. So they just made it. They made an executive decision with their massive amounts of professional PI level, right? They said, we could change it up quite a bit and make the chorus quite a bit different. But no, they didn't. They said, let's just stick with it. Let's just stick with the magic. Let's not break the spell of the moment because it's working so well, right? It's already working so well. And so they just used don't stop, that sharp contrast in the line rhythm. That is the key that, yes, here's the chorus, right? Definitely the separation of the verse and the chorus is clear just because of that one factor. The da, 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 da. So that line rhythm is so different than the verse. And that literally is the only factor, plus the, like, da, 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 don't stop. I mean, they're even using the same notes, right? If you wake up, so that, listen, don't stop. They open the chorus with the same note that they open the verse with, but I think this is working really well for them. Well, I mean, it was one of the biggest hits of all time, so yeah, I guess it kind of worked. But if we look at this carefully, we notice that the song starts with such a bang. Da 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 da. So, but bam, it starts with wham. So they don't have to go any higher than that. They don't have to, prove any more points. Just keep the ball rolling. So it almost sounds like this is another section. We don't need to get any more excited because we're already so pumped. We don't need to get any more pumped. And in fact, they kind of put the brakes on by don't stop. That kind of slowed down the momentum going forward a little bit, doesn't it? Those pauses, da 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 da, pause. It'll soon be here. It is genius in action. Okay, it's genius in motion. We've got a groove factor going. We don't break the groove. We don't use new notes. We keep the same notes that we've had in the verse, in the chorus, but we just add a stop. Don't stop. And it's interesting because the word stop is actually in there. And she's saying, Christine, and I love that woman so much. Her songs are my favorite songs. Some of my very favorite songs in the Fleetwood Mac experience. She's made me cry many times, many times, and that's a good thing. But don't stop. And then here's the message: thinking about tomorrow. Don't notice the repetition. Nice, clean repetition. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. So they're saying, don't give up. Things are going to happen quickly. It'll soon be here. And then, I love this. It'll be here better than before. So now she's just coming right out and saying it. It's not going to be better. It's not going to be worse. You know, she said in the verse, in a different way. You'll see things in a different way. Well, because the song is so happy, the prosody of this is it's probably going to see it in a better way. But then, if you didn't figure it out, I'm just going to come out and say it. You'll see things in a better, it'll be better than before. Yesterday's gone. Notice that strong repetition. Da 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 da, da 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 da. A different line rhythm that we haven't heard before. Ba da da da, da 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 da. To finish it off, right? A beautiful way to finish. Now, and we're saying, yesterday's gone. Don't forget, yesterday is a history book that we can learn from, but it's not hurting us physically anymore. Yesterday is in the ether. It's a ghost, right? Yesterday is a ghost, right? Okay, so I want to talk about this chorus in another way. What about the rhyme scheme? Let's read it down. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. Okay? Now that was an asymmetrical couplet, and we didn't want it to rhyme, which she did. Now this is what we're expecting. Da, 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 sorrow, if you wanted to rhyme that one. And da, 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 near, right? So we were going to rhyme, I'm rhyming near to here, right? Okay? So let's see what she does. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Notice that's not the same line rhythm at all as the first line. Don't stop, ba da 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 da. Now we're expecting now da da da, but she didn't do that. She went da 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 da. Now we're expecting da 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 near, right? Yesterday's gone. The future is near, right? That would rhyme. Do you hear the rhyme? Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. The future is near. Or tomorrow is near, right? But she didn't do that. She didn't do that. She's too clever for that. Yeah, she's too clever. Yesterday's gone. Repeat. Yesterday's gone. So there's, as far as I can see, there's no rhyme in this. There's repetition, don't stop and don't stop, which has a sense of, it has kind of a semi-satisfaction of rhyme when you repeat things. Oh, and look at the end. Yesterday's gone, repeat, yesterday's gone. So we get an echo word in place of a rhyme. We get gone and gone. We actually get yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. So that echo line, and I just love this. It magically erased the need to hear a rhyme for the word here. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. That is just brilliant. So you can learn, we can all learn. I am learning every time I go over these lyrics. And I'm telling you, man, I take this shit to the bank. Yeah, I do. The next time I write a song, I might use that trick. The end of my chorus, I might just repeat a little line, right? As a tag. It'll be here better than before. It'll be better than before. And then just tag it on. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. It's an important line though. But it's kind of a tag. And because it repeated, no more rhyme do we need, right? Right? Okay. So the verse is A, and it's an asymmetrical A, which gives it tension. And then open your eyes, look at the day, you'll see things in a different way. That's a symmetrical couplet that rhymes. So she gave us relief at the end of the verse. She gave us a symmetrical couplet. The stresses are in the same place. Both lines line up, the stresses line up perfectly. And they rhymed. So that's a sense of resolve, right? Nice. Resolving, because the song's a positive song. End the section with a resolve. That works for me. That works for me. And it worked for, like 300 million people. It worked with them too. So I guess she was onto something. All right. We're running out of time. So let's go over. So we've talked about line, rhythm, and rhyme scheme. And we've talked about melody too. It starts high, da, 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 da. Notice how it's also jumping around. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. That was nice. Da, 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 da. It'll be here. It'll be better than before. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Notice that descending. Da, 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 da. A nice finishing. Makes it, sounds final, doesn't it? Ba, da, da, da. That's a real period, isn't it? Boom. Da, if it went da, 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 that wouldn't have been a period. Yesterday, see, it'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Doesn't have a period, does it? It leaves you hanging. I don't know, that could have been just as good of a finish. But she decided, yesterday's gone. She wanted to just, hey, it's gone, period. It's gone, period. Get, you see what I'm saying? We're over it, period. We're over it. We're over yesterday. Goodbye, yesterday. A good lesson to be learned, but you ain't going to hurt me no more. You're a ghost. You ain't going to hurt me no more. All right, take it a lesson. I'm not a loser, I'm a lesson. Okay. All right. So, and I love this. Listen to how she opens the second verse. Why not think about times to come? How light is that? Why not, on your, you having a little moment, why not just do this? I love how brushed off that is. Why not think about times to come and not about things that you have done, right? Which, of course, is a way of saying the past is over, which we've already heard. If your life was bad to you, and that's a very interesting thing to say, isn't it? I really like that approach, Christine, genius that you are. She puts it like you're a good person, but life wasn't good to you. So you're not a bad person doing something with life. Life turned out to be bad to you. So I love that she takes the blame off of you. I love that. Very important. I love that. If your life was bad to you, just think what tomorrow will do. Just think about tomorrow, right? Why not think about times to come? And not about things you've done. If your life was bad to you, just think about what tomorrow will do. And a nice setup for don't stop thinking about tomorrow, don't stop, it'll soon be here. All right? Now, we've had 2 verses, 2 choruses. Now, do we have a bridge? Because that would be an option now. You know, we have kind of a groove going. I think we've talked about this, the fact that the chords stay the same throughout the whole song. So she magically says to herself, and she may not be aware of what she's doing. I don't know Christine yet, but I hope I get to meet her someday because she's one of my favorite people in all of life. She says, you know, I don't want to break the spell. I don't want to write a bridge because a bridge would be too much of a change. Let's just keep, all I want is to see you smile. Notice she changed, and this is one of the great tricks in the songwriter's handbook, is to take a previous verse, and it's oftentimes the first verse. Take that previous verse for the third verse, or even the second verse, and echo it, put it down as a template, and then just change it a little. So let's look at the first verse. If you wake up and don't want to smile, so how did she change that? All I want is to see you smile. Isn't that sweet? I mean, what a nice thought. You know, Christine just wants to see everybody smile. I mean, isn't that just a gentle, sweet, loving thought she's sending out to humanity? All I want is to see you smile. Just, there you go. See? Things, the attitude's starting to change already. You know, they say, you know, who is they? But they say that if you just force a smile, you will actually feel better. So if you're in a slump, you can go in front of a mirror and just go, and you might actually start to go, oh, okay, I'll just try this out, you know, maybe it'll work. Anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. Just making you smile makes you happier. All I want is to see you smile. And then she just says, if it takes just a little while. She used the exact same line. That same exact emotion just happened to work. Now, I know you don't believe that it's true. And you're going, what don't I believe is true? Wait a minute, I kind of dug this. I kind of dug this this song so far. It sounded true to me. But she adds, I never meant any harm to you. Isn't that great? What a nice way to finish that off. You know, what a wonderful way to finish that off. So she's saying, you know, just in case I offended anyone. She's covering all her bases, all 4 bases, right? I never meant any harm to you. So if I pointed the finger at you a little too harshly, I don't mean it that way. I mean it like Bill Clinton's way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. All right? And then just to finish this amazing thing off, the last chorus, don't stop thinking about tomorrow, don't stop, ba-da-da. Notice that the whole band came to a radical pow, came to a stop. On the third chorus, what a brilliant way to... With that guitar lick, God, I need to hear that again. Listen to this. beat.
Yesterday's gone. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop easily.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Da, 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 da? He doesn't end that da, 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 on the downbeat. It'll be here. He keeps it going. Da, 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 it'll be here. Da, 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 boom. He waited for an extra long time, right? So again, a little unexpected surprise, keeping the tension a little bit longer. Ah, it's so good. It's so good.
Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Don't you look back. Don't you look back. Don't you look
Brilliant song. Brilliant song. We had an outro that's different than all the rest of the song. Remember we talked about that arc of interest? Arc of interest going up. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. Wow. Well, keep that sudden stop keeps that arc of interest rising, and then that beautiful guitar lick, and then finally you're saying, let's taper it off with that don't you look back. What a beautiful way to just fade off into the distance. Don't look back, don't look back, look back. What a song, what a song. And we've never heard that, ooh, don't you look back. Brand new line rhythm, right? Lots of repetition. We haven't broken that spell. The spell keeps going. The only time that the spell was really broken was right in that, was right, don't stop, it'll soon be here. Right on the third chorus, which is almost at the end of the song, a nice little boop, a nice little kind of little slap in the face, and then the lick. It's so cool, so cool. The placement of that at the end of the song to me is again a brilliant arrangement idea that we're going to save that stop for the last one. We're not going to put it in the first one, not in the second one. Only, we're not going to put it in every one, just the last one. Because of this massive groove that we have going, the groove is going. We're not going to break the spell. No, see what I mean? That groove is just pumping, pumping. You know, that train is rolling, man. We're not going to stop that train. Oh, just such a lovely song. So, can we convert this to our combat experience? Well, sure we can. We have, we can write our own song about, we can encourage ourselves. We had some really dangerous moments, and there was things that that are just horrific that we may have had, but by golly, they are in the past. They are ghosts, and I'm not going to let these ghosts rule my life anymore. I'm going to move on past it. I'm not going to forget it. Not going to forget, but I'm going to forgive it. Life did bad things to me. Now I'm going to forgive it. I am going to focus on being a more whole person and learn from that what I don't want to be like in the future, or what I don't want life to be like is even better. I don't want life to be like that in the future, so I'm going to be part of the healing process, maybe by writing the song, and putting the song out on whatever little channel you put out on, right? All right, so we're done. And on Monday, we're going to continue this with a song called End of the Innocence. We're going to do a Don Henley song, which is a warning song, right? End of the Innocence. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So we started this theme of big social commentary, overview of life, life concept songs, with a positive song, which I thought was, one of the greatest songs in rock history. And now we're going to go into, on Tuesday, we're going to look at the back side of that. We're going to look at the negative side of that and see how Don Henley and Bruce Hornsby, how they pulled off one of the most successful songs, again, in the history of rock and roll. One of the most successful songs. So we'll see. We'll go into that and see what's going on there. What's going on there. All right. So I want to thank you for being with me today. If you can take some of your mass amounts of wealth, which I know all you vets have, because Uncle Sam pays us all so well. If you could throw a couple of bucks at the CreatiVets programs, that's the royal we, meaning me, although I don't get paid, they would appreciate it. They need money to keep this channel open for you people to enjoy. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so throw us some bucks, and you know what I'm going to say now, don't you? You do. Yes, you do. Keep her on the double nickel. See you on the flip flop. Adios, amigos. I love you all.